Georgians call October Vinobistve, wine month. This is a period when grapes are harvested. Collecting and pressing the grapes is a special ritual in the Kakheti region. This is a festival not only for Kakhetians, but also for the whole country and its visitors. Historic and cultural monuments from various centuries are intermingled here. Together with beautiful natural vistas, they create a unique synergy. That's what attracts visitors to Kakheti. The desire to develop this beautiful and ancient historic province of Georgia has become the basis of the Regional Development Project of Georgia, which is supported by the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, the World Bank, and implemented by the government of Georgia. The project builds on the overall Kakheti tourism strategy. The project implies improvement of tourism and cultural heritage infrastructure, enhancement of institutional capacity, rehabilitation of municipal infrastructure and public facilities, conservation and restoration of public spaces and cultural heritage buildings, and development of tourist routes. Tourist infrastructure projects were designed based on the concept of harmony between the architecture of historic monuments and the natural landscape. One of such historic sites is Neidze complex, the city fortress Ujarma, New and Old Shwonta, Bodbe Convent, Hirsa Stepantsminda Monastery, Kvelatsminda, the rock-embedded David Garaja Monastery, Ikalto Monastery Complex, and one of the biggest churches in Georgia, Alaverdi Monastery Complex. Total cost of the project is $75 million. It is an investment into a better future. That's the money to be spent for further economic development of the region and the country. The regeneration of Telavi has helped to create many local jobs and improve infrastructure and transportation facilities, bringing direct benefits to the residents, improving experiences for tourists, but also creating a favorable climate for continued investment. A series of broad consultations with all stakeholders made it possible to identify the needs of those concerned and to plan accordingly. Everything is new. We are impressed with everything here. It was never like this before, and I would never imagine Telavi would change so much and become so beautiful. The biggest part of the regional development project is the rehabilitation of the administrative center of Kakheti, Telavi. This is not only about building tourist infrastructure. It can be said that this is rehabilitation or rebuilding of Telavi. Not only separate buildings were renovated, but the whole streets, together with their buildings, including residential ones, were built anew. Today, Telavi is truly a different town. Under the Regional Development Project, the Erekle Square was completely overhauled. Cobblestone roads were built and street light posts were installed. Pedestrian road leading to Erekle Palace was lit with decorative lampposts. The facades of the residential buildings situated near the Erekle Palace were renovated in order to be in more harmony with the palace architecture. Handmade wooden balconies with decorations, beautiful towers, gates styled according to local historic architectural traditions, and rich fences. All these made this town become a best example of synthesis between the old and the new. Renovated and restored Nadikmari Park is, as locals put it, Telavi's oxygen, and one of the most favorite places of recreation for Telavi residents. Information boards were put up all over Telavi. Public places offer free Wi-Fi. The ancient seat of kings has become an attractive tourist destination. Vareli is the second largest town in Kakheti after Telavi. That is why its rehabilitation is one of the important parts of the Regional Development Project. The changes that were made with the World Bank support are obvious in the now clean and beautiful town. In general, the town is a synthesis of Georgian and European styles, modern and old architecture. Spectacular province of Tusheti is part of Kakheti region. Rehabilitation of Tusheti and Dartlo village in particular is one of the biggest parts of the Regional Development Project. Rehabilitation of historic buildings in the Dartlo village is carried out with the use of traditional materials and by applying ancient building methods. Almost all houses will be restored to their original state. We try to be involved in the construction works too. They employed all of us. They built houses for us, and we are very grateful. Dartlo's rehabilitation is very timely for the village because many houses were dilapidated and on the verge of collapsing. Currently, the owners of rehabilitated houses already plan opening small guest houses. This will develop infrastructure and facilitate growth of tourism into Kakheti and Dartlo. Works in the Kakheti region offered an incentive to entrepreneurs and businessmen to extend their business activities or even launch new businesses. One of the goals of the Regional Development Project of Georgia was attracting private investments into Kakheti's tourism and agribusiness areas. With the support from the World Bank, the government of Georgia played its part in the process through improving the infrastructure near the private business areas. Actually, it had a lot of impact on Lopota Hotel and number of its guests, because accessing the Lopota Lake became easier. Besides, on the hotel's territory, the tourists want better infrastructure, which means comfortable parking lots, more facilities inside the hotel complex like sports or other activities, which is a great advantage for us and visitors. To ensure sustainability, training is now being provided to tourism personnel working in Kakheti, especially in the hotel sector. Capacity building is also offered to the Georgia National Tourism Administration and the Agency of Cultural Heritage Preservation. To evaluate the project impact, a professional consulting firm is hired to monitor improvements in people's life, their income, as well as it records tourists' arrival, their spending, and the level of their satisfaction. Regional Development Project of Georgia is continuing with the World Bank support. This is a project with a clearly innovative concept. Such large-scale construction works haven't taken place in Georgia yet. These development activities are directed at making Kakheti attractive for local and foreign tourism. This is a project directed toward the future. Its goal is to ensure Kakheti's further development, attracting investments to the region and providing much-needed employment to local population.